What's up, y'all? Another edition, late night edition, legendary show. And today's topic, tonight's topic, is allow me to reintroduce myself. Um, my name is Lawrence Clark III. A lot of people know me as Lawrence Johnson, but my name was Lawrence Clark III, which was my granddaddy was the first Lawrence Clark. Then my dad was the second Lawrence Clark, and me being my dad's son, of course, makes me the third. Uh, Actually, I'm trying to seek back that name. You know what I mean? Because I just never seen the point of having the Johnson attached, because that was just a side that I believe never too much cared about me, even though that's my supposed family. You know what I mean? But I was born 1981, St. Joe Hospital, which is I guess was known for the years known as Killer Joe, but St. Joe, St. Joseph Hospital. Born in the Midwest, Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of people, a slang name Omaha, Nebraska, but Omaha, Nebraska, right in the middle, right in the Midwest. Omaha, Nebraska is actually the heart of the map. You know what I mean? Um, I went to a lot of schools. A lot of elementary schools. I went to, Miller Park, Dundee, Central Park, Mount View, and the one that the elementary I actually graduated from, which was sixth grade, was Belvedere Elementary. Um, y'all always kind of had it rough growing up. You know what I mean? I realized earlier on that I had special talents. You know what I mean? That even me, for a while, I never really knew too much about. You know what I mean? I had to still, as a youth, I had to figure out all my talents, and I didn't know I had a lot of talents growing up like that. But I noticed when I was in definitely in elementary school, I was always the number one fastest runner in my class. The teacher used to let us outside, and she'll say, "Y'all take off running," and I would always be the fastest one. Uh, Track and fields, they would line up all the first graders and stuff like that, and I was always the fastest runner. You know what I mean? The fastest runner that crossed that line, and I know it was just so many people that was cheering, and just was like, "Man, you were so great! You were so great!" You know what I mean? So a lot of older folks, I noticed, had wanted to be around me because a lot of them might have seen, a lot of them seen the special talents that I had, and I didn't even see myself. You know what I mean? I was in foster cares. I was in a couple group homes. One was called Fisher House. There was one located uh, about 10 miles outside of downtown Omaha. Um, I was in foster care. Uh, Foster care was is in, I had my good and the bad experiences with foster care. So I say to those out there that do foster care, make sure y'all take care of y'all foster kids, because a lot of them already come traumatized before y'all already get them. A lot of things have already happened to them before y'all even get to them. And the thing about it is you need to make it better. But I see a lot of foster care parents, they make it worse because they're not understanding what that child has been through. This is in my case. My family, I felt like they had, like, I'm not talking about labeling. When they labeled me, I was weird, strange. Uh, they didn't take the time out to evaluate me because, like I told them, because they're so busy thinking that you're going to blame them for all your success and failures when they're not even knowing that a lot of trauma and everything was done before y'all had even, adopted us or came back into our lives. You know what I'm saying? Uh, People, it was even said that I was molested as a kid. I don't remember it, but I guess I ended up in the hospital behind it. But I'm just thanking the Most High that He actually blocked that, because my memory is like an elephant. It's very impeccable. I normally remember a lot of cases, but that's one I don't remember. Um, but a lot of things had a lot of happen. Foster care, you go through severe punishments and abuse. You know what I mean? I've even made peace with my foster mom, even though I felt like she done have a lot of abuse too. You know what I mean? But kids is gonna be kids. I gotta understand that. And see, with me coming from the background I did, I had to find myself. I had to find my personality. I had to find my niche. So I was considered abnormal. You know what I mean? But really, I was normal. You know what I mean? I really was normal. But or maybe I wasn't normal. Maybe I wasn't the same from everybody else. Because I always say these days, I'm not. We are not the same. I am a Martian. So I grew up. Like I said, I went through the foster care, and I finally got adopted around about 1989, 90. Um, 35th and Newport was a block. I grew up on 6722 North 35th Street. Uh, I experienced a lot, coming up on from over there. I used to live in 29th Street, 29th and Ellison. I used to get chased home, beat up, and by the older people. Cause see, I grew up in times where there was a lot of bullies. You know what I mean? And so, uh, when you're young, when you're growing up against a lot of older people, yeah, I'm not gonna fib. I was nervous. I was scared. You know what I mean? Yeah, but uh, until I grew older and had to find my niche. You know what I mean? Then I realized like I'm Michael Jackson, who's bad. You know what I mean? So I went through, like I said, I went through a whole lot, man. I'm not gonna say it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say I've had it rougher than most. You know what I mean? You going to school, getting talked about what you got, what you had on and stuff like that. Because I didn't have all the starter jackets and bombers and stuff that everybody had. I had jean jackets that was my arms, the sleeves was way up to here. Everything was always too little. I always was getting rejected by females. Oh, he ugly, dusty, and what I mean, stuff like that. But as time went on, I became like Mike Jones. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot. They all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot. They all on me. I said back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot. They all on me. You know what I mean? But uh, it was just sometimes as a youth I always wanted to be something other than what I was. Uh, but as time went on, I really, really learned to embrace myself. I really learned to love myself. You know what I mean? I think that was one of my biggest mistakes growing up, was not believing in myself. You know what I'm saying? Growing up. And sometimes I say if I knew what I knew now back then, it would have been a lot smoother. You know what I mean? I always believe, I didn't really find out maybe until this year, because I didn't know that I was one of the ones that was hidden in plain sight. They always say if you're gonna hide something from a black person, put it in a book because they never like to read. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize I was one. I was one to be hidden in plain sight. Um, I love music. Like I said, music. A lot of music express. You know what I mean? Who I am. I listen to a lot of music. I like R&B, rap. You know what I mean? Even today, I can sit up and listen to some straight gangster music, kill them up, shoot them up, bang bang. But don't mean that that's what I want to go do. But all it is just it's a mentality of, what I mean. That's what I'll bring out of if something was to if somebody was to spark something my way. Yeah, I still have that vicious cycle to me, but I'm a beast. I learn to tame my beast. You know what I mean? You got so many type of males out here. You got the beta male, you got the sigma male, you got the alpha male, and there's another male out there too that I can't remember the name. But out of the three that I just named, I'm a sigma male, and I want to do more on that because it taught me really a lot who I was, and it really was accurate on who I am. Some of y'all's alpha males out there, some of y'all's a beta male, but I'm a sigma male. Um, I've been through a lot of hurt and pain, a lot of bad things said to me that I just never forget. But see, some things, what people didn't understand about me, I remember that Ti song he had, "Watch What You Say to Me." I was one of them cats that you got to watch what you say to me, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember things. I might forgive, but I don't forget. I remember even being kicked out of out of the house for making some Jello. Yeah, facts. I never forgot that. Simply just making a bowl of Jello, and I got kicked out because I didn't ask to make it, and I got kicked out for 2 weeks on the street. You know what I mean? So you tell me you tell me that. When your adopted parent kick you out, you know what I mean, for some just making a bowl of Jello, man. I tell you, it was rough. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I just slept in vacant houses, and had a sleeping change, shit in vacant houses and stuff like that. But what I'm most thankful for from the Most High is that I never had to get out here and I never had to hurt nobody to make it to put food in my stomach. I always grinded it out until I made something better for myself. And one thing about me is when I was down, I always found a way to pick myself back up because I didn't ever have much help in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I was the one I was always overlooked. You know what I mean? I was the one. Everybody, all the women wanted the thugs, and I guess I just went at the time I wasn't thug enough. You know what I mean? So I was actually told that back then I wasn't thug enough. Remember that London Wills? Remember that you told me that? But yeah, I just was like, yeah, that was back then when the thug had the most. You know what I mean? All the women wanted the thug, and I don't. I guess even to this day, I don't consider myself a thug. I consider myself the Sigma male that I am. I'm just a man, a good man with a head on my shoulders, with a good head on my shoulders, because a lot of us that come from our backgrounds is usually dead or in jail. And the only time I went to jail for was just driving under suspension, because like I told y'all, I did a Facebook post on that was always the ultimate hindrance, and it's still a hindrance. So I'm still gonna try to, I guess, do what I can to get that machine to go ahead and finally pass me. So I ain't out here always gotta be ducking one time all the time when I'm out here driving in the streets, though. You know what I mean? But I think nowadays they don't really mess with you as much as that, because they realize driving is some of the most pettiest charges. But I am proud of the things I taught myself. I didn't go to driving school. I taught myself. I first started off on the back streets, and then when I was comfortable enough, I got on the main roads, and I've been a driving champion ever since then. You know what I mean? And actually, I think people with no license drive better than people with license. You know what I mean? I remember the time I taught myself how to ride a bike. You fall down, you get up. You fall down, you get up. I remember one time I was riding the bike and I was going so fast. I didn't hit the brake in time, and I hit a gate and flipped right over the gate. You know what I mean? But I still made it, and I kept trying until I finally got it. You know what I mean? And those are special deals to me, though. I look back on my life, man. I said, man, I overcame a real volcano. You know what I mean? I overcame that storm. You know what I mean? Because the Most High, I believe, always said He has something. He has something in store for me, but just when the time is right. And right now, I'm feeling the time is right to get what I deserve, to get what I need. I've always wanted to be married, have kids. You know what I mean? And just give a love and affection to my family that I never got from myself, and just forget about the family I did have because they never cared about me. You know what I mean? So I just want to put a lot of that to history, which is, I think, now, out besides my cousins, you know what I mean? Some of my cousins, should I say, I still want to, I still want to, draw closer to them, but just the older generation is just what I have to put to history. The only one I really felt that really rooted for me, and she tore my ass up when I did wrong, was my grandmother. Though I'm not gonna lie about that. Heavy church going woman down south. She was from Helena, Arkansas. You know what I mean? Grandmother, you is missed. I did a video on her about 2-3 weeks ago. But overall, like I said, when I found my niche, because I was always having trouble like keeping a job because I was working fast foods. I was either late, fired for getting late, or always calling in because I was lazy. There were times I was irresponsible. Yes, yeah, I was irresponsible. I didn't do anything that any other normal kid wouldn't do. You know what I mean? Some kids lie on their parents. Some kids do the most, but I didn't do nothing. To me, I didn't do nothing out too far out the way to where I really should have got rejected from, the quote unquote family I came from. I really feel, like I said, I wish I could have got to know my dad's side of the family, because maybe there would have been more help and love from that side. That's why I say I'm a Lawrence Clark III. I've been trying to find answers on this, but it seemed like there's still a lot of stuff hidden. Even with birth certificates, because when you adopted, you got to go to Lincoln, which is the capital of Omaha. It was the capital of Nebraska, pretty much, though, not the capital of Omaha, but it's the capital of Nebraska. You got to go there to get your birth certificate when you adopt it. And I asked them about that. Can I get the original one that had my original name on it? And they told me they didn't have it, but I'm gonna keep harassing them until somebody give me some answers, though. Because I just want to see and get to know that side if I can. which is I'm a Clark, which is my middle name is Clark, but by the adoption I had to take on, they dropped the third, which she said she didn't feel I needed to be the only one, and I just didn't. It still don't make no sense to me to this day, but. And don't get me wrong, I did. I did, and I did forgive the adopted woman that adopted me. It's just that sometimes, we all go through anger. We all say things sometimes we don't mean. You know what I mean? We done all done it. We done all said it. You know what I mean? We done all said things to each other that we don't mean. We done all done things to each other that maybe sometimes we don't mean. Stuff in life happens. What they call shit happens. Sometimes, but. Uh, I have kind of learned to forgive, but yeah, there was a recent outburst of anger that I had. Because it was more so because I can't believe that this is how it really all is summed up to be. This is how it really is. You know what I mean? Uh, I spent a lot of time by myself. Um, Holidays, I kind of got down because I didn't have no family to spend with holidays with like that or nothing like that. So I just I'm just kind of really thankful for how far I have come, and I do realize that I am something different. I am an alien with a different DNA. You know what I mean? Um, and I still think that I look young. I still feel young. You know what I mean? I still feel like I got some years ahead of me. That's gonna play out to the best of my to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my years on this earth, because I feel like what I have been through is all like is all in the past now. So I'm I'm looking at brighter days ahead of me. It's just a ticking time bomb when it's hit. They always say it get worse before it get better. You know what I mean? So I'm really thankful. High school I went to Bryan High. I went to North High School. You know what I mean? I didn't graduate. You know what I mean? I had ended up getting a GED. You know what I mean? Good enough diploma, should I say? You know what I mean? But uh, middle school I went to McMillan. McMillan Junior High School, which was a magnet school. North High was a magnet school. I used to get bussed out to Bryan High School, which was out in Sarpy County, which is the only reason I went that far out there, because I didn't want I didn't want my auntie going to my parent teacher conference, because I know I wasn't never getting no um I wasn't getting no good grades. But they used to hold special meetings for me. They used to say that we could tell he's smart, he knows how to walk the walk, talk the talk, but it's just the level of concentration, which is because I always had to defend myself, growing up. I felt like I was always bullied growing up, you know what I mean, because of what I wore and stuff like that. So it made it hard to kind of focus. It's not that I didn't know the work, it's just that it was just hard to focus and concentrate, you know what I mean? But as of right now, I feel like I'm one of the greatest that's ever come um, from that era, and I'm still one of the greatest now, you know what I mean? And I like to say that I'm a GOAT. I am a greatest of all time because how I have tamed my beast and how I'm not locked up in jail for murder, and I haven't hurt nobody, killed nobody out here. So that's just real a blessing for me, and I love to express how I feel. Now everybody don't deserve that, but I've learned to let naysayers be naysayers. You know what I mean? People talk behind your back for a reason, because they know they can never do that in your front. You know what I mean? So I just want to take this time, y'all, and just allow me to reintroduce myself, because I had been through so much in my lifetime. You know what I mean? From what I understand, I got little brothers named Leonard and Jermaine. No, Leonard and Jimmy, that I haven't even met yet. I try to get my birth mom to tell me more about them, but I don't think she too much knows. I don't know, or I sometimes wonder was I lied to, but I think they out there. I just want to kind of, find them and maybe and gain some closeness with them. Um, I just know I'm real different from a lot of other people, and I see things from the outside looking in, and so that just I've always been different, but I like to now. I embrace my difference to the point where I'm proud that I've always been different from everybody because I noticed that I noticed that I will have something special in store for me. The Most High has something in store for me, and I believe it's just a matter of time. As long as I got to do is just keep pushing and keep pushing. I know this YouTube stuff can be really hard because of the algorithm, what they call it, the algorithm, and the monetization. Because they kind of want you to talk about what they want you to talk about, and if it don't meet their criteria. But look, the thing about it, somebody out there paying attention, somebody out there watching, and I believe it's a matter of time before I get that viral moment, and I'll be put on that larger platform where I'm gonna be known worldwide. You know what I'm saying? And I can look back on everything and sit back and kick my feet up and live in a big mansion, comfortable with my kids, my wife. You know what I mean? And just be able to sit back and able to bring change to a world and help people. Because one of my biggest goals is if I ever got blessed with a lot of money, I want to be able to start businesses and help people that really need the help, out here and change this world for a better place. You know what I mean? And for me and you and the whole entire human race, like my boy Michael Jackson said. So I thank y'all for taking the time. And like I said, I know somebody out there watching me, though. All eyes on me. So I thank y'all. And I'll be back at y'all some more again. Legendary Show. Thank y'all.